Hi, it's Karen, Max's mom. Welcome to the channel. Today I'm reviewing a blonde wig from Alipearl, which honestly, I knew what I was getting myself into when I purchased something from Alipearl. So let's just get into it. So I ordered the Alipearl exclusive original blonde highlight number P18613 straight human hair wigs blonde hair with highlights. Bless you, Roxy. These wig names. But so the wig I got was a 13x4 lace wig, and I got it in 22 inches with a hair density of 250. So I did not, I didn't get any footage of how the wig looked right out of the box, which I should have done, because I typically do that because, you know, when you want to return something to these companies, they need how it looked right out the box, how it looks in the box, you know, like, anyway, I knew when I purchased this wig that I was gambling because it's Alipearl. Like, it was you know, it was either gonna be great or horrible. So, here's the wig. This is now how it looked coming out of the box. Coming out of the box, it was more so this color. You see the harsh highlights? And I just was not going to walk around with the harsh highlights. So it was between gray or honey blonde. I should have gone honey blonde, honestly, but I went gray to wash the wig just because the highlights were horrible. Like, it was just very much a streaky wig. It looked nothing like the picture. Like, you can see the highlights in the picture, but you think it's like, you know, a lot of blonde hair looks good because of the different high and low lights. So I thought it'll look fine in person, but in person it just looked very not my style. I know a lot of people like the harsh streaks because these were not highlights, they were streaks, but it wasn't what I imagined. I've been searching for the perfect ash blonde wig for like a year now and cannot find it, so this was very disappointing, but oh well. I thought, you know what, it's fine. The wig is blonde. I'll be able to dye it whatever color I want to. So that's exciting. So I used my L'Oreal. It's an 8S, I believe that's the color. It's supposed to be like a warm, soft silver. But with this hair, it came out this very, I don't know. It's very much so gray. Like, I feel like a witch when I have this wig on. And I only had one box, so I just went over the tops to see if you, and then kind of worked it through. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but it's like solid gray on the top, but then it kind of like, as you move the hairs, it's like a grayish blonde, and then when you get to the base, it's the blonde that it came with those crazy highlights. Okay, so they don't look so crazy there because the blonde has, because the gray has gone to them. But when I tell you, it doesn't look like the ones the influencers had. Like, the streaks, you see those different colors? They're so much harsher in person. So, you know, oh well, I took that L, no biggie. Here we go. Now you can see the streaks. Like, these are chonked highlights. Not blended well. Very cheaply done. But I was like, you know, it is what it is. That's fine. But then once I dyed this hair, and it's not the dye because I use this dye for all of the hair. I use L'Oreal or Garnier for any hair I dye. So it wasn't the dye, so I'm not blaming the dye. But right out the pack, this hair didn't shed at all. It had a film over it, I could tell, because I was like, this isn't 250 density. Because like after washing it, it looks 10 times thicker than it did right out of the pack. It had like a film, and it was just very sleek. And I didn't like it. It felt thick at the roots, but then as it went down, it was thinner, so I knew something was up. I should have returned it, but this company has a restocking fee, and I was like, no, I'll just play with it because it's blonde, and you know, oh well. As soon as I washed it now, hadn't added any dye, I washed it first just to see how it would react to shampoo. And no, I did not dye wet hair. Like, I waited for it to dry again before I dyed it. But as soon as I washed it, it started shedding not crazily, and you know you expect shedding when something's been bleached, but like just from combing with that wide tooth comb, this is about how much you get every time you touch it with a comb, with your hands. Doesn't really matter. Like there's more hair there, and again, not a biggie because I'm like, okay, it's blonde hair, but when I dyed it, you can dye hair, but when I dyed this hair, first of all, I washed this a day ago. It's been almost 24 hours since I first washed, since I dyed it, and it's still wet at the roots, letting me know this is not hair because it's been laying so that it can air out. This is dry. Like the netting inside is dry, the ends are dry, everything is dry, but this in here, all the hair in here is very wet, and I don't know if it's going to show on camera, but let's try the ends. Okay, I don't know if it's showing, but this is very bouncy. It's bouncy, like it's a fabric, not a hair. So there you go. They're not selling hair, which I mean explains the price. Like, let me see how much I paid for this. Okay, I'm not finding the email with the price, but I paid somewhere around $300 for this. So I knew for a 22-inch blonde lace wig it was going to be a scam, but I thought it was going to be a scam I could work with, but not really. So if you look at the base of this wig, the roots, that's the color I was expecting throughout the unit, but it came with those harsh highlights. Like, I don't understand why it couldn't just be this color. That would have been perfect. So I tried to blend the gray in as much as I could, but I started running out of dye. I went out and got a second box, and I was going to wait for it to dry today and then just even it out, turn the whole thing gray. But instead, what I'm going to do is see if I can make this work just as is, because I mean the wig's not gonna last very long anyway, so I don't really want to put any more stress on it than necessary. So it looks kind of green in some areas because of the gray and the blonde, and so I was gonna just try to work with that. A center part, style it, and then see how it looks from styling it, because when I do the center part, it looks well blended with the center part. So we're just gonna see what we can do. I'm not even upset. I knew what I was getting. Hey, my camera died earlier, and I just figured I should go ahead and film this now because I don't know the next time I'll put this wig on. So I'm not good with lace, so do not come for me. Don't feel the need to comment on it because y'all can be kind of mean in the comments of these hair videos. It's not that big of a deal, okay? So I cut the lace. I was actually pretty proud of myself, not how it looks now, because it is lifting now. It's been a few hours. I had it pretty blended earlier with my makeup and everything, but it's been a while and it's lifting. Far away, I think it looks good. So I didn't do a center part because the center part, you can see the harsh line of gray to that ash. So what I did was I didn't even really part it. I just kind of separated it so it's not like a super defined part, which I think is good because the lace on this wig is not, it's not it, okay? It's not crazy lace, like you don't see crazy knots because the hair is lighter, but let's see. I mean, it's still lace is what I'm saying. I've had better lace. So that's that. It's not a deal breaker. The lace is pretty decent, you know, like it doesn't look extra wiggy like a Halloween wig or something. I do like how it took the color. Like, it looks kind of wonky because of the, you know, with dyeing it, the highlights still show up, the chunks, but so you can see what I'm saying, the different colors grays. You can see that there are chunky, like, these are streaks, not highlights. But I do like how the color took. I think it's pretty. I am going to try to make it ashier, but not at the moment. At the moment, I'm totally content with this hair. I've kind of been wanting gray hair for a while anyway, so I'm just going to see how this goes. If I like the gray, like if it really grows on me and I feel compelled to completely dye the rest of it, like under here as well, then I will. But right now, I actually like the different colors in the hair. What I will say is I completely straightened this hair earlier. Like, when I say earlier, I mean 5 hours ago. And it is now, like, I can run my fingers through it, but it's getting caught some places. And it is like pieces of hair come out every time I run my hands through. It does feel like it's getting harder to run my hand through it too. And also, it's not as straight as it was. So it's kind of like, it's like curling up, not curling, but it's scrunching up a bit. And it like gets bigger, like kind of like a cheap wig would, like at the roots. It feels like it's getting thicker and kind of ratty at the ends. Like, it's not as sleek looking as it, like, it's not gonna stay sleek the whole day. I don't think it was a waste of money as much as I did when I washed it. This is not all hair. This might be a hair fiber blend, but there's definitely some type of material in this wig that is not human hair. You can tell by the way it curls up when you wash it. Like, this is not curly hair, and also how it becomes gummy when it's wet. Again, that's not what hair does. Unless it's like over moisturized, you know, like when you have too much moisture in your hair, it'll like break from being too moisturized. But washing this wig should not be causing a moisture overload. Anyway, I think it's, I won't say it's worth the gamble. I'm not disappointed. I'm disappointed in the original color. That's about the only thing I can say, because I knew I wasn't getting human hair when I paid what I paid for this wig. So yeah, doesn't look like the picture, doesn't look like how it looks on all of the influencer videos I watched. So you might get a completely different wig from what you see online. Just letting you know that. But I think, you know, if you're not afraid of some dye and just kind of figuring it out yourself, you'll be fine. I'm very pleased with the fact that I found a blonde colored wig that I was able to manipulate to work for me. The highlights in this wig is the reason I will not repurchase it. Not the quality or anything, but the highlights, because I can't find a blonde wig that cheap, and I'm not going to. And I just really wanted to find some blonde hair that I could dye a bunch of different colors. So I'm still on the search for a good blonde wig, because I want ginger and also want an actual ash blonde wig. So I hope this was helpful. You know, I'm not against the hair, I'm just not for it. You know, it's because it's not hair and the streaks are harsh. So yeah, doesn't look anything like the influencers or the hair on the site. Like, the site, you can tell the highlights are there. I know what I saw, but it didn't look as harsh as it does in person. So yeah, my dog is looking for food, so I'm gonna go see what she's getting into. I feed her. She is fed. She's just greedy. But thanks for watching.